The doctor behind the next big thing in cancer treatment. The Dr. Kathleen Wu, an oncologist at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, has been awarded the Schobag Prize in honor of decisive contributions to cancer research. CNN, finding a cure of cancer is the motivating force for many an aspiring doctor. Few get anywhere close to pursuing that goal. Among them is Dr. Kathleen Wu, an oncologist at Boston's Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, who has had cancer in her sight since second grade when a teacher asked her and her classmate what they wanted to be when they grew up. That's when there was a lot of coverage on the war on cancer, she said. I think I drew a picture of the cloud, probably a rainbow, and drew a picture of me like making a cure of cancer or something like that. The childhood scribble was prescient. Wu's research has laid the scientific foundation for the development of cancer vaccines tailoring to the genetic makeup of the individual's tumor. Each strategy looking increasingly promising for some hard-to-treat cancers such as melanoma and pancreatic cancer, according to the result of early-stage trials, and may ultimately be widely applicable to many of the 200 or so forms of cancer. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, which selects Nobel laureates in chemistry and physics, last week awarded Wu its February Prize in honor of decisive contributions to cancer research. Cancer treatment has progressed over the years, but there are still sort of a lot of unmet medical needs out there for many cancer forms, said Urban Lendash, professor of genetics at the Karolinska Institute at Sweden and the secretary of the committee that awarded the prize. Dr. Kathleen Wu and her close collaborator, Dr. Patrick Ott, have worked on the vaccine to treat melanoma. Sledgehammer cancer treatment. The most common treatment for cancer, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy are like sledgehammers, striking all cells and often damaging the healthy tissue. Since the 1950s, cancer researchers have been seeking a way to dial up the body's immune system, which naturally tries to fight cancer but is outsmarted by it to attack tumor cells. Progress on that front was middling until about 2011 with the arrival of the class of drugs called checkpoint inhibitors, which boost the anti-tumor activity of T cells, an important part of the immune system. The work led to the 2018 Nobel Prize for Medicine for Tasuku Honzo and James Allison, the latter a winner of the 2017 Sherberg Prize. These drugs have helped some people with cancer who would have been given months to live survive for decades, but they don't work for all cancer patients, and the researchers continue to look for ways to turbocharge the body's immune system against cancer. Wu's fascination with the powers of the immune system arose after witnessing bone marrow transparent as the medical intern and seeing how they reboot the blood and immune system to fight cancer. I had a really formative academic experiences that made me quite interested in the power of immunology, she said. There in front of my eyes were people who are being cured of their leukemia because of the mobilization of immune response. The 2018 Nobel Prize laureate in medicine, Japanese scientist Tatsuko Honzo left, and U.S. scientist James P. Allison laid the great groundwork for the new class of cancer drugs. Wu's research focused on small mutations in cancer tumor cells. These mutations, which occur as the tumor grows, create proteins that are slightly different to those in healthy cells. The altered protein generates what's called the tumor neoantigen that can be recognized by the immune system's T cells as foreign and therefore susceptible to attack. With thousands of potential neoantigen candidates, Wu used Tue February's lab work to identify the neoantigens that are on the cell surface, making them a potential target for the vaccine. Ladesh said, if the immune system is to have a chance to attack the tumor, these differences must be manifested on the surface of the tumor cells. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless, Ladesh added. The fantastic discovery. The idea of cancer vaccines have been around for decades. The widely used HPV vaccine targets the virus that is linked to the increased risk of cervical, mouth, anal, and penile cancer. However, in many cases, cancer vaccines have failed to live up to their promise, largely because the right target hasn't been found. The ability to identify neo-specific tumor antigens have really developed into the large field of cancer research, as it offers the possibility to generate tumor-specific cancer vaccines. Hans Gustav Jungren, the professor of immunology at the Karolinska Institute, said in a video shared by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, this is the fantastic discovery. By sequencing DNA from healthy and cancer cells, Wu and her team identified the cancer vaccines patient unique tumor neoantigens. Synthetic copies of these unique neoantigens could be used as the personalized vaccine to activate the immune system to target the cancer cells. Wu and her team wanted to test this technology in advanced melanoma patients in a trial. The idea that every patient involved in the trial would get an individualized vaccine was initially hard for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which regulates clinical trials, to wrap its collective head around, Wu said. Typically, the FDA would require the vaccines to be tested first in animal experiment. Wu and her team made their case. That room was packed. It was the first trial of its kind. And there were people from many different offices. Our argument was this is personalized. Whatever we do in an animal doesn't really match the human, so why even go that route? Several cancer vaccine trials are now underway, but they are small scale. More work is needed before they are viable treatment options for many cancer patients. Once it had FDA approval, the team vaccinated 6 patients with advanced melanoma with the 7-shot course of patient-specific neoantigens vaccines. The breakthrough result was published in a 2017 article in Nature. For some patients, this treatment resulted in the immune system cells being activated and targeting the tumor cells. The result, along with another paper published the same year, led by the founders of mRNA vaccine company BioNTech, provided proof of principle that the vaccine can be targeted to the person's specific tumor, Landish said. A follow-up by Wu's team 4 years after the patient received the vaccines published in 2021 showed that the immune response were effective in keeping cancer cells under control. I'm grateful for all the patients that participated in our trial because they are active partners who said each hard enough to go through treatment, but then go through treatment that is on a non-benefit, and to be able to be willing to come in for all the extra that we need to do this type of research. There are more tests, there are more blood draws, there are more biopsies. Since then, Wu's team, other groups of medical researchers and pharmaceutical companies, including Merck, Moderna, and BioNTech, have further developed this field of research with trials underway for vaccines that treat pancreatic and lung cancer as well as melanoma. Unanswered questions. All the trials underway are small scale, typically involving a handful of patients with later stage disease and high tolerance for safety risk. To show that these type of cancer vaccines work, much larger randomized controlled trials are needed. The numbers are small. I mean, for obvious reasons, Landish said the data looks increasing, but it's still, of course, early days. Scientists are also figuring out the most effective way to format the vaccines. Wu's group and others have used vaccines made from peptides or strings of proteins. Moderna and BioNTech used mRNA, which the companies pioneers in developing vaccines against COVID-19 to deliver a set of instructions to cells to make the relevant proteins. My belief is that there are many roads to Rome. I think there are many different delivery modalities, but each delivery approach can be optimized with different bells and whistles. Who said there has to be investment in and how to make the delivery approach work the best. And right now there are huge appetite for mRNA, fed by our pandemic. Cancer vaccines have shown the most promise in what oncologists colloquially term hot tumors that mutate quickly, such as melanoma. That was Wu's initial focus. It's not clear whether they will be effective against cold tumors such as breast cancer, which are more inert. It's easier if there are spontaneously more mutations occurring in the tumor because we've got a better small gospel of potential small molecules to choose from for making your vaccine, Landish said. Another challenge is how to manufacture these vaccines in a more cost-effective and time-sensitive way, so they can reach large numbers of cancer patients, Wu said. Right now, it can take weeks, if not months, to make the individualized vaccines at a cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars. An active avenue of research is developing vaccines that target neoantigens that are shared by patients with the same cancer type, raising hope for the off-the-shelf vaccine, which many people could use without the lengthy personalization process. Another question is whether the vaccines will work best in combination with other treatments to make them a sharper tool, and if so, which ones? The result of a trial published late last year found that a vaccine developed by Merck and Moderna given to patients with advanced melanoma along with a type of immunotherapy called K2 Keytruda, a drug based on the checkpoint inhibitors, lead to the lower risk of recurrence or death than those who got the drug alone, the company said. It's also not known at what point in the treatment cycle will vaccines be most useful treating cancers caught early, helping patients with advanced disease or ensuring patients remain cancer-free. Most trials underway involve patients with late-stage cancer or patients in remission. But Wu said she thinks vaccines may be more effective in early-stage disease, despite the laundry list of unknowns for some involved in these early cancer vaccine trials. The results have been life-changing. I'm just so grateful to have been allowed to take it. Barbara Brigham, who received the personalized vaccine for pancreatic cancer being tested by biotech, told CNN last year she was able to watch her oldest grandchild graduate from college, a moment she didn't think she would live to see. The opportunity and timing was so perfect, she said. It helped me and I hope it helps someone else. CNN's Brenda Goodman contributed to this report.